here's a box with my life in it. Well, my toy life, I should say. Well, some of my toys. I've shown a range of stuff from my childhood up to date, as much as I can. Let me just give you a peep, first of all, before I get them out one by one. This is looking inside. It's a big range of time. This is over 60 years of toy collecting and toy entertainment. Well, 40 years probably of toy entertaining, too. So I'll put it on the floor and get them out one by one and show you what I've been up to for nearly half a century. Goodness me. So the earliest days, I think, because I was born in the 40s, was the 1950s, when I just had enough money to buy pocket money toys. And this box here contains very early stuff from my early 1950s from a company called Elliston's, who were based in Holborn. They were marvellous, absolutely page after page of wonderful things, mostly things like itching powder and sneezing powder, and there's a few things like sugar lumps with flies inside because they float, all that sort of stuff. So very, very simple pocket money toys, and that's how I began before I got seriously into toy collecting. That's how it began, just pocket money. Then a big investment occurred in 1960. This is the first major toy I purchased. This is a lot of money too, I may say. But just to see what it does, I've got to turn it on and see if it performs. Come on, boy. Come along and go. Acoustic, isn't that wonderful? Made by Roscoe of Japan. And when he stops, you've got to make another noise. There's a microphone just here. Boo, 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 boo. However, when I showed them to kids, they were not so much impressed with high technology. All they wanted to do was pet it and stroke it. So that's when I started collecting toys you can handle. That was a big step forward when I realised kids want to handle everything. So that's what you let them do. Then the toy shop opened up in the 70s when I moved down to Richmond, and they started selling wonderful toys. This is one of my favourites, I think, from my early childhood. I made this when I was 12 years old. It's the old tumbling blocks, but with a wonderful difference. Here we go. Isn't that beautiful? Japanese. I found this later on in '86 when I was in Japan. Obviously been invented there. Well, what a lovely way of adapting the old tumbling blocks click, click, clack to make something really special. And then also I started collecting things which were not toys but just fun to play with. This is actually meant to be for a vase, either to about the outside of the vase or put flowers in, which are dried flowers. But then people found it, put it on the head of a hat. That way or this way, which makes it immediately playful. So something not intended to be a toy, but when you put it in front of a kid's pot, they do all sorts of bizarre things like putting it on their head. What a lovely idea. A few years later, someone came up with a lovely, lovely redesign of it, which is this one here. It looks like the same, well, it is the same, except that, look. Oh, what a brilliant bit of design work. And look what it does when I squeeze it. Opens and closes its mouth like that. And then again, being playful, kids are always very playful. They showed you what it's like when it's on the head, which looks like this. This is just like typical clown stuff. Take my glass off for this. Yes. So it's not a toy. It's not meant to be a toy, but it is a toy because it's such fun to do this. And then sometime later on, the only time I've ever had a toy actually marketed were these toys here, the old party blowouts. I had them specially made for me, and they were sold after a while. It was wonderful. 6 foot long, 2 meters instead of the usual button. That was a wonderful discovery, and I've had a lot of fun with those. I had dozens and dozens made, and had lots and lots of fun with those. And then sometime in the 80s, I came across some very nice tin toys. This one particularly made in Germany, in Western Germany, sometime in the 60s, I think. There's the box. And this is a very, very nice little tin toy, because it's a satellite, and it probably came in the 60s when suddenly the world woke up to the fact that there's rockets that can take them up into the space. So it'll do that, which is very nice, but look what happens when I open the thing up, which is a very clever extra thing. You pull it there, you pull that bit there, and now see what happens. It goes inside and then outside on a bigger diameter. Very, very nice. It's got 2 levels of satellite height above the Earth for performing. So, very clever stuff. Well done, the German designers, for that. Until you come up to the most recent stuff I've got, and this is probably the best I've ever seen, I think. I think people ask what's my favourite toy. It's just the latest. This therefore has to be the best toy I've got because it's the latest. Very, very clever idea. I've got to take it out very carefully though. It's a cigar ashtray with loads of cigars in it. This is the missing area paradox, but taken to a very, very high level. Look at that. See what we've got. Cigars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Goodness me. Oh, well, let's do a bit of turning, shall we? 2 like that. Now how many have we got? Oh, my goodness, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where did they go? Oh, well, let's do another bit of turning, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's another one come in. This is extraordinary. 6, 7, 8 cigars. You guess it. It's just, it happens. It's magic. So that's my favourite toy, but just at the moment because it's the most recent. And the best entertaining toy I've ever made is this wonderful thing behind me, which is, ooh, it's big, but it's absolutely marvellous. It's a giant tube containing something very heavy. So I'll put it over here where we've got a bit of space, and the black would help to show it up better. And this I've done so many times at children's parties. Take them off, get a kid to hold it, you run away as if there's going to be a huge explosion, but it's just building them up. And when they take it off, what happens? Oh, is that last? Come on, fellas, very last 2. There's a few more in there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now you've got to clear it up.